They found her just before dawn, barefoot and shaking, standing at the edge of the expressway, where the streetlights flickered like dying stars. Her eyes were wide, but she was not looking at anyone. Her mouth moved, whispering apologies to something no one else could see. Behind her, the ground was wet, not with rain, but with palm wine, blood, and ash mixed together. And somewhere beneath the city, something ancient had finally stood up. They say when a shrine is robbed, it does not cry, it remembers. Ayofe city sat between Lagos and Ibadan, swallowing people whole. It was the kind of city people passed through on their way to somewhere better, only to get trapped inside, not by walls, but by hunger, rent, pride, and unfinished dreams. From Lagos came ambition, fast money, loud dreams, impatience, and the belief that anything could be taken if you were bold enough. From Ibadan came memory, old houses with cracked walls, slow afternoons, forgotten gods, and warnings spoken softly but meant seriously. Ayofe City borrowed from both and forgot the price. By 5 a.m., downfall buses already screamed through potholes like wounded animals. Conductors hung halfway out, shouting destinations like curses. Oshodi, Ojota, Ibadan Road. Their voices mixing with horns and impatience. Hawkers moved between vehicles like spirits with trays balanced on their heads. Akara wrapped in old newspapers. Bread still warm from night ovens. Pure water sweating inside nylon bags. The air smelt of fried oil, exhaust fumes, dust, and desperation. Generators hummed when NEPA failed. Phones rang with unanswered calls. Music leaked from shops not yet open. Radios argued with themselves. Everyone was in a hurry. Very few noticed the ground beneath their feet, and fewer still knew that the ground was listening. Shade Balogun arrived in Ayofe City from Ibadan 8 years earlier with her mother and younger brother. They came with 2 travel bags, one thin mattress tied with rope, and hope that had not yet learned fear. Ibadan had been slower, kinder in some ways, crueler in others. It was the kind of place that let you breathe, but also let you starve quietly. Ayofe City did not let anyone starve quietly. It demanded noise, movement, struggle. When their mother died in Ayofe City, after months of headaches, chest pain, and doctors calling it stress, the city stopped feeling like opportunity and started feeling like an enemy. Shade was 26 then. She stood by the hospital bed, staring at the thin sheet covering her mother's body, not thinking of grief, but of rent. At 26, Shade lived with anger burning quietly in her chest. Not loud anger, not the kind that shouted, the kind that waited. She worked at a betting shop near the expressway by day, watching men chase luck they never caught, men who believed numbers would save them, men who insulted destiny when they lost and praised God when they won. By night, she returned to the single-room apartment she shared with her younger brother Tunde in an old neighborhood people avoided after dark. They called it Old Railway Side, though no train had passed there in decades. Shade hated the place, the cracked walls, the smell of damp concrete, the whispers that seemed to follow you home. But it was cheap, and cheap had become holy. Tunde was 5 years younger than Sadi, but sometimes he felt older. He spoke little, observed much. Since their mother's death, Tunde had started having dreams, the kind that left him sweating and silent in the morning. Dreams of standing at a crossroads where no road looked familiar. Dreams of a woman with eyes like burning charcoal calling his name softly. Dreams of the ground opening its mouth. Sade dismissed it. "Stop watching nonsense," she told him. "You sleep hungry, that's why you dream rubbish." Tunde nodded, but the dreams continued. Sometimes, while walking home at night, he felt like the shadows moved differently around him, as if they paused to watch. He never told Sade that. Everyone in Old Railway Side knew Mama Ngozi. She sold palm wine from a wooden stand near the abandoned warehouse that leaned like a tired old man. By evening, men gathered around her bench, drinking, laughing, arguing, and pretending not to fear the night. Mama Ngozi did not talk much. When she spoke, people listened. She had lived in Ayamfe city longer than the city wanted to remember. Long enough to know which streets used to be footpaths, which buildings were built on things that should not have been buried. The first time Sade met her properly was during a blackout. NEPA had taken light for 2 days. The heat pressed down like a hand. Sade stepped outside to breathe and found Mama Ngozi sitting calmly, fanning herself. "You don't greet elders?" Mama Ngozi asked without looking up. Sade muttered a greeting. Mama Ngozi studied her face slowly. "You walk like someone running from something," she said. Sade laughed bitterly. "Aren't we all?" Mama Ngozi's eyes did not soften. "No," she said. "Some people are running towards something. That's worse." Sade did not understand then. Behind the abandoned warehouse was a narrow path swallowed by weeds. Children were warned not to play there, not because of thieves, not because of snakes, because it is not empty. Once, a drunk man stumbled into the path and was found the next morning sitting naked by the roadside, laughing and crying at the same time. People whispered, then forgot. That was how Ayamfe city survived, by forgetting quickly. What few remembered was that before roads, before markets, before Danfo buses, there had been a shrine there. Not a grand shrine, a small one. A place where travelers stopped to pour palm wine and ask permission to pass. When the city grew, the shrine was not destroyed, it was buried. And buried things do not die. Money became tighter. The betting shop reduced staff hours. Sade's pay was delayed twice. Landlords began knocking more aggressively. One evening, Sade overheard a conversation at work. 2 men whispering about fast money rituals. She laughed outwardly, but something stirred inwardly. That night, Sade passed Mama Ngozi's stand and noticed something strange. Mama Ngozi was pouring palm wine, but no one was drinking. She poured some on the ground. Sade paused. "For who?" Sade asked jokingly. Mama Ngozi looked at her sharply. "For those who were here before you and will be here after you." That night, Sade dreamt of coins buried under concrete. It started small. Sade began cutting through the narrow path behind the warehouse, saving time, saving transport money. Each time she felt cold, even in heat. Once she heard her name whispered behind her. She did not turn. The third time, she saw it. A small clay pot half buried in the ground, hidden behind broken blocks. Inside, something glinted. Her heart pounded. She remembered her landlord's threats, Tunde's school fees, the empty cupboard. "No one will miss it," she told herself. After all, the city had already stolen everything else. And so, one evening, as the sky bruised purple and the city prepared for night, Sade reached into the earth. The ground did not resist. It welcomed her. Sade did not tell anyone about the clay pot. Not Tunde, not Mama Ngozi, not even herself, not in words. She wrapped what she found inside her head like a secret wound. Inside the pot were old cowries, 3 dull-looking coins that felt heavier than they should, and a thin leather strip tied in a knot so tight it seemed grown, not tied. The moment her fingers closed around them, a sharp cold rushed up her arm, stopping at her chest. She gasped and pulled her hand back. The ground remained open, waiting. Her first instinct was to drop everything and run. Her second instinct, stronger, louder, reminded her that fear had never paid rent. Sade scooped the items quickly into her bag, covered the pot back with dirt and broken blocks, and walked away without looking back. Behind her, the path fell silent. Too silent. That night, Ayanfe City did not sleep easily. The power came and went like a teasing spirit. Street lights flickered. Dogs barked for no reason. Sade lay on her mattress, staring at the ceiling, the bag clutched to her chest. Tunde turned restlessly beside her. "Sade," he whispered. She stiffened. "What?" "Did you hear that?" She listened. "Nothing." "Sleep," she snapped. But when she finally closed her eyes, sleep did not come gently. She dreamed of walking barefoot through old railway side while the ground whispered her name in many voices, young, old, male, female, all disappointed. At the center of the dream stood the shrine, now uncovered, breathing slowly like a chest rising and falling. Someone stood behind it, a woman, tall, barefoot, watching. Sade woke up screaming. By morning, the fear had hardened into resolve. She took the cowries and coins to a roadside antique buyer near the Ibadan road, one of those men who sold old radios, broken watches, and things he refused to explain. The man took one look at the items and went quiet. "Where did you get this?" he asked. Sade lied. "From my grandmother." The man shook his head slowly. "This one no be ordinary," he said. "I fit buy, but I no go advice." "How much?" Sade demanded. He named a price that made her breath catch. "Too much." She accepted without bargaining. The money felt warm in her hand, uncomfortable. But when she paid part of the rent that same day, the landlord smiled for the first time in months. That night, Sade bought suya, bread, and soft drinks. Tunde ate quietly. "You look better today," he said. Sade smiled. For the first time in a long while, hope returned. Thin, dangerous, tempting. The next day, Mama Ngozi called Sade over. "You walk differently now," the old woman said. Sade laughed nervously. "Maybe I just slept well." Mama Ngozi leaned closer. "Dreams will start asking for payment," she said softly. Sade's smile faded. "What dreams?" Mama Ngozi straightened up and waved her away. "Go," she said. "City work is waiting." That evening, as Sade closed the betting shop, all the screens went blank at once. The generator coughed and died. In the reflection of the dark glass, Sade saw someone standing behind her. She turned sharply. No one. But the reflection did not move immediately. It smiled. Dreams. Tunde's dreams worsened. He began waking up with dirt under his fingernails. Once, Sade caught him washing his hands repeatedly. "What is wrong with you?" she snapped. Tunde hesitated. "There is something following you," he said. Sade laughed harshly. "So now you are seeing spirits?" "It is not following me. It is following what you touched." Sade slapped him. The room fell silent. Immediately, regret flooded her. But Tunde did not cry. He only looked at her with fear, not of her, but for her. That night, Tunde dreamt of Mama Ngozi standing at the shrine, crying. Strange things began happening around old railway side. Palm wine turned sour overnight. A child fell sick after playing near the warehouse. A downfall bus broke down exactly at the narrow path entrance and refused to move until dawn. People started whispering. Mama Ngozi poured more palm wine than usual. "You cannot steal from the ground and expect it to forget your footsteps," she muttered. One evening, she confronted Sade directly. "You went there," she said. Sade froze. "To the place people don't go." "I was just passing," Sade said weakly. Mama Ngozi shook her head. "No, you took." Sade felt heat rise in her chest. So what if I did? She snapped. Did it feed me? Did it pay my rent? All these old things, what have they done for us? Mama Ngozi's eyes hardened. They kept the ground quiet, she said. Now it is waking. Kunle Adebayo drove night routes from Lagos to Ibadan, from Ibadan back through Ayanfe City. He liked the quiet roads, the feeling of being between worlds. The night he picked up Sade was raining lightly. She flagged him down near the expressway, soaked and angry. Old railway side, she said. Kunle hesitated. Anywhere else? No. As they drove, the rain thickened. Kunle felt a sudden chill. You believe in shrines? He asked suddenly. Sade scoffed. I believe in money. Kunle glanced at her through the mirror. Careful, he said. Some things collect interest. As they passed the warehouse, the engine stalled. The headlights flickered. In the darkness, Kunle saw someone cross the road. Barefoot, slow, deliberate. He slammed the brakes. No one was there. The engine started again by itself. Neither of them spoke until Sade reached home. Kunle drove away, shaking. That night, he dreamt of a woman standing on his bonnet, knocking. Money came to Sade faster now. Not through work, through luck. A forgotten ticket won big. A customer tipped heavily. A stranger paid her twice for something worth half. Each gain was followed by loss. A cracked phone screen, a sudden sickness, a constant ringing in her ears like distant drums. Mama Ngozi stopped greeting her. Tunde stopped sleeping. The shrine's path became clearer. Weeds dying back, stones rearranging themselves, as if inviting her again. Sade told herself she would only look. She went at dusk. This time the ground resisted slightly, like skin. She pushed harder. Underneath were more items, bigger, older. Her hands shook. This is the last time, she whispered. The wind answered. When she returned home, Tunde was gone. The door was open. The ground outside her room was wet. Palm wine, blood, ash, and somewhere beneath Ayanfe City, something ancient shifted its weight. Sade stood frozen in the doorway of the room she shared with her brother. Her breath caught halfway between a scream and a prayer. Tunde was gone, not missing in the careless way children sometimes wandered off. Gone in the way silence follows something deliberate. The mattress lay twisted, the bed sheet dragged halfway across the floor, as though someone had pulled it in a hurry. Near the doorway, something dark soaked into the cracked cement. Not enough to be a pool, but enough to speak. Palm wine. Blood. Ash. Sade dropped to her knees. No, she whispered. No, no, no. The air inside the room felt thick, as if breathing required permission. Outside, the night carried on as if nothing had happened. Laughter from a distant bar, a generator coughing to life, a motorcycle roaring past. Ayanfe City did not pause for grief. Sade stumbled outside and ran straight to Mama Ngozi's stand. Mama Ngozi was already awake. She sat on her low wooden bench, palm wine untouched, eyes fixed on the narrow path behind the warehouse. You took again, she said without turning. Sade collapsed in front of her. My brother is gone, Sade sobbed. Please, I will return everything, I swear. Just tell me where he is. Mama Ngozi finally looked at her. There was no anger in her eyes, only mourning. You did not steal money, Mama Ngozi said slowly. You stole memory. You stole protection. That shrine was not rich, it was responsible. Sade shook her head. Are I don't understand. Mama Ngozi sighed. Long before this city had a name, before Lagos became loud and Ibadan became old, that shrine held a pact, she said. Ayanfe land was dangerous. Spirits crossed freely. Travelers disappeared. The shrine was built to anchor things, to keep some forces below and some above. Shade felt cold spread through her chest. Your bloodline was part of it, Mama Ngozi continued. Your mother knew. That is why she feared this city. Shade remembered her mother refusing to walk certain paths, pouring water on the ground before journeys, whispering names Shade never asked about. Tunde carries the sensitivity. You carry the fire. Together you were balanced. And now, Shade whispered. Mama Ngozi looked toward the path. Now, the ground has taken what it is owed. There was no ritual preparation, no drums, no chants. Just fear, courage, and a choice already overdue. Mama Ngozi handed Shade a small calabash. Palm wine, she said, for apology. Shade clutched it and stepped into the narrow path. The weeds bent away from her feet. The air grew heavy. The city noise faded. At the end of the path, the ground was open. Not like a hole, like a mouth. The shrine stood uncovered now. Clay darkened by age, markings glowing faintly, cowries rearranged into patterns that seemed to breathe. And beside it stood the woman from Shade's dreams, tall, barefoot, eyes like burning charcoal. You came back, she said. Shade fell to her knees. Please, she cried, take me instead. The woman tilted her head. You already offered yourself when you took without asking, but this is not about punishment. She gestured. From the earth, Tunde rose. He looked untouched, but older somehow. Eyes deeper, posture steadier. Shade, he said gently. She crawled to him and held him, sobbing. I'm sorry, she repeated. I'm sorry. The woman watched. Someone must remember, she said. Someone must guard. The city has grown careless. Shade understood then. The choice was not escape. It was inheritance. Shade turned to Mama Ngozi, who stood at the edge of the path. You knew, Shade said. Mama Ngozi nodded. I stayed to wait for you. Shade looked at Tunde. You must leave this place, she told him. Go back to Ibadan. Leave. Tunde shook his head. I can't, not fully. The ancestral woman smiled faintly. He will walk between, she said, dream and waking, warning and memory. Shade faced the shrine. I will stay. I will guard. The ground trembled. The city lights flickered. Somewhere far away, a transformer blew. The woman placed her hand on Shade's head. Pain surged, sharp, blinding, then faded into warmth. Shade screamed, and the shrine closed. By dawn, Ayanfe City awoke to rumors. A woman found barefoot near the expressway, shaking. They said she talked to shadows. They said palm wine soaked the road without spilling. They said the narrow path behind the warehouse was gone, replaced by solid ground. Mama Ngozi closed her stand. Tunde left the city quietly. Kunle Adebalo stopped driving night routes. And Shade Balagon? Some nights, people swear they see a woman standing where street lights flicker, watching the ground like it might speak. They say when ambition grows louder than wisdom, the earth listens harder. They say if you take without asking, something will eventually ask for you. Ayanfe City still swallows people, but now it remembers who keeps it breathing. Moral of the lessons. A city may change its clothes, but not its soul. When we forget the wisdom beneath our feet, evil wears familiar faces. True power is not what we take, but what we refuse to steal.